Unfortunately, our lives are still a great big fat ugly question mark, and it is my least favorite feeling in the world. I love moving forward and being able to plunge into the next thing, but when you lose your job and you know you're going to be moving soon, it changes everything. We have a couple of different crazy options, one of which I am stoked about, but Billy disagrees with. The other Billy is all for and I disagree with, but that's all I will say on that. I will let you know when we know. But this video is for anyone going through hard transitions, hard limbo times. There is something truly unrelentingly hard about going through long periods of time when you know everything about your life is about to change, but you have no idea where you'll be, what everything is going to look like, and who you will be. Because we might not realize it, but we are such a product of our environment. We change and adapt parts of our personalities and how we look at life and how we do life based on what we have around us. And when you know that you're about to leave that and then you have to move into a new space, it kind of changes everything. I am excited to see where we end up. I know that we will be okay, but for this time, this period, it is hard. I am not going to sugarcoat it. Oh my gosh, okay, guys. I don't know why I got into this line of work because it's not for me. I am about to do an interview and I'm just getting so nervous, and it's just like the most calm, chill thing in the world, and yet why am I getting sweaty? You know what I mean? Okay, so Billy's gonna take the kids out into the backyard for a little bit. I tried to look presentable. I'm like wearing a belly shirt. But you can't see it because I'm gonna be sitting down, so it's okay. I think I look okay from up here. But it is the woman that wrote the book No Such Thing as Bad Weather, which is like a huge thing in the parenting outside community conversation. So I've heard a lot about her. So this is kind of exciting. She just like randomly emailed me and was like, hey, I write for this article. Would you like to do an interview with me? And so I was like, I feel like I need to do this. So I figured I'd film like just a minute of what it's like. I don't know, it's probably gonna be boring. Oh, I'm so excited, let's go. I need to get ready.
Hey, Becca.
How are you? Good. I feel a lot of imposter syndrome just because it's like, I feel like it's silly, and for me to be like, I live this way, and to have so many people ask me about it. It feels to me like it's a huge problem in America and Canada and the Western culture.
Is. Yeah, I get like right a second.
Of course, that went so well. She was so nice. I had nothing to be worried about. And I'm so chatty. I just sat there and chatted for way too long, and like we got cut off at the Zoom call at the end. So I think now we are going to get ready and go to the river. Woohoo! The most incredible sourdough bread gets made in this house. Billy makes most of it, I'm not gonna lie. Look at these perfect sandwich sized pieces of bread. Like, you would think that this came from like a normal loaf bag from the store or something. It is so good. The flavor is incredible. And yeah, our friend uses, it's called the USA pan, is that correct? And it just makes it this perfect shape, and it makes the crust completely uniform around the entire thing. And I haven't been shocked in a while by like a product, but this somehow did it. So we just had grilled cheese sandwiches with pickles and pickled red onions and avocado, and that was incredible. And tomato, don't forget the tomato. But I am a child, so I need something sweet as well to go along with it, so I'm gonna have a butter and jam one. I also just love talking about sourdough because it's one of those things where most people want to learn how to do it, and it is it's a hard but not hard process. We took 2 years of on and off effort of failed attempts, and it was awful. I would give up for a while, and then after a few months I would see somebody making it, I'm like, I'm gonna figure this out, and then it would completely flop again. And every time I post about it, I get so many people asking how to learn how to do it, and how can I learn how to do it. So this is another shameless plug. I made an in-depth guide that took me a very long time to make because it walks you through the entire process. Like, what is sourdough, how to make it, how to take care of your starter. My focus was I wanted it to be as easy as possible. It has examples of timelines and like how to work it into your life and your schedule, because people make it so overly complicated online that it was driving me absolutely crazy. Because really, sourdough bread used to be what our foremothers would make. They didn't have scales. They didn't have all of this scientific best practice bull crap going on. They just made bread. They just whipped it up in their kitchen every single day to feed their family. It wasn't any more complicated than that. So anyways, I made an in-depth guide that can take even the most beginner of baker, and you will be making sourdough bread by the end of it. That is just so incredible. Like, I feel like this is one of the most life-changing things that you can learn how to do, because we eat this daily pretty much, or some form of sourdough bread. Anyways, I will link my guide down below. And it's also just so cool because I have gotten so many messages from people saying that they now can make delicious sourdough bread at home, and I'm just proud that I actually get to help people. Okay, we're actually gonna finish up lunch and then get ready really quickly and then go spend a few hours at the river because we have not been outside today yet. I actually just dropped them off at the river and I'm gonna go for a quick run. I feel so goofy having a microphone, but on the other hand, the audio quality outside is terrible unless you have something. It's just so good for us to get outside and just do nothing but take in beautiful nature and Vancouver, because like this is the reason that we love being here. It's because it's so beautiful outside and there's so much to do. It's like, sure, we could have moved to a cheaper place in the meantime. With Billy losing his job, it's just, I don't know, it's so tricky because Vancouver doesn't feel like home anymore, which really sucks to say because we love it here so much and we're trying to take advantage of the last bit of time that we have here, but it's just so hard because we don't know how much time we have left here. Our plan right now is for Billy to just go and take as many auditions as he can all over the place. Honestly, I would love for a job in a different country just because it would be so fun. Yeah, I don't know what our life is anymore, basically, is how I feel, which really sucks. I don't know. Like, on one hand, moving abroad and like living in all these different places is so fun. And I wouldn't trade it for any other life, but on the flip side of that, it does come with periods of extreme stress and anxiety, and it's just really hard. Wherever we end up moving to next is going to be a huge adjustment. Like, it's going to be us taking a whole year trying to build up a new network and a new community of friends and like learning a whole new area. I guess what I'm trying to do is just balance it out, because sometimes people get really jealous that others get to do crazy things all the time, but just know that it comes at a cost. Like, it's not all rainbows and sunshine. So I wouldn't trade it. It's worth it to me, but it is really hard sometimes. Okay, I'm gonna hang out with my family. Okay, we are back from our trip to the river and the pump track, and it's just such a magical time there. This is leftovers. They look terrible and all plopped together like this. But this is ginger beef that Billy made yesterday. And we had other leftovers we were supposed to eat tonight, but I can't. I have to eat this. Any kind of Asian dish like this is just my favorite. It's so good. I also just downed a bunch of cherries because I'm starving. But the kids and Billy are actually gonna hop in the shower. I'm gonna try to whip up dinner really quickly. You wanna know what is so crazy? The fact, of course, my battery would die just now. But what was I saying? I am excited because I love meal planning. I've talked about this before, but I just went ahead and made what we like to cook and eat as a family that does enjoy more plant-based meals, but also does eat meat. And it's just really balanced overall, and it's very seasonal. And I think because of that and the way that we eat in general, it makes it frugal overall. Anyways, I'm almost done with it, and maybe even by the time this video is uploaded, it will be done and I will have released that. And I've had a lot of people asking for that. Anyways, all that to say that that meal plan is coming out soon, and I want to start making more food related content. To me, it feels like a lot of work, which is why I tend to avoid it, but I think it'll be a good thing for everybody. We need to have dinner and get everybody cleaned up and in bed, because tomorrow is actually the first day of kindergarten. I don't know how we got here, but it's here, and it got here very suddenly and quickly, and I'm just not ready for it. Bet you didn't know we were getting this cozy tonight. I just showered, my kids are asleep, and I am actually going to sit here and knit while I talk for far too long about school. I get the question a lot whether we are going to homeschool, and my answer to that is no. But I understand. I seem like the type to homeschool because I am that type. But there's 3 reasons why I am willing to put my son into kindergarten. First of all, he is so freaking excited. It is so cute, and he loves the idea of being a kindergartner, and his idea of kindergarten is going and playing with your friends and going to recess and playing with toys and learning some ABCs. And I don't think he's that far off. And I just think it is so cute, and I'm so excited for him. Second is that the school that he is going to be going to, that was a stupid way of saying that, is a really good one. Like, we were really lucked out. I have done so much reconnaissance. I have never had any issues at this particular school that he's going to. And I've also just talked to so many of the other parents. Overwhelmingly, they have like basically nothing but positive things to say. But it really kind of seems like the school is teaching what I am morally aligned with. Like, I think it's more important for them to learn how to be super inclusive and be kind to everybody around you and to be a good friend and to learn how to like learning. That seems to be the overall vibe of this school, instead of like, we need to get certain test grades to be able to show off that we're the most academic school around. Like, that is not the school. It also just has smaller class sizes, and it's 3 blocks away. Everybody walks their kids to school because everybody lives so close by. And it's just kind of this little tight-knit community, and it is so cute, and it's just kind of like out of a storybook. So I feel incredibly lucky that we have access to this school, and we just super lucked out. The third reason that I am willing to put him in school is, I am just going to be so blunt here. Just remember that these are my opinions, and I'm sorry if this makes you angry, but it's because we are not in the US. And you can tell me that the statistical likelihood of him being shot in a school shooting is smaller than us being hit and dying from a car accident. I have just personally witnessed too many close to home shootings from friends and family for me to ever be comfortable with the idea of putting either of them into public school. And I've just read too many horror stories from parents losing their children, and that you always think it's never going to happen to you. It's just not something I'm willing to do. I would be such an anxious mess every single time I would drop him off. And not only just that, I also just don't like the overall public school system in the US. Like, I have watched it decline. Like, I have family members and friends that are teachers, and I just hear how basically ever since COVID, like 2020, the school system has just declined so rapidly over the years that it is horrifying. Is this out of focus? Okay, I actually just looked at myself, and I feel like maybe none of that was in focus, and if that's the case, I am horribly sorry, but I am not re-recording that. Now it's just too bright. What was I saying? Oh, and just like the overall rate of how children are learning, and just like the overall attitude about school in general in the US is just like, more and more kids are having a harder time learning how to read and getting excited about learning. And it's just, they come in with this attitude of, you can't touch me. I can do whatever I want. I don't need to do anything you say, and I can get away with it because I know that you can't do anything to me. Plus the overall lack of funding. You just hear these sad stories of teachers in the US getting paid pennies, but then using what little money that they're making to try to make their classrooms into a good learning environment. It's just bad. I know that this is not the case for every single school. I know that there are such lovely schools in the US and that lots of people have good experiences, but I've just heard too much of the negative experiences to even want to try it. We are going to try this school here, and I'm going to be monitoring it, and as long as he's loving it, I'm happy for him to go. Because I do have so many qualms with public school. There's 2 main reasons for it. One is to teach kids how to learn to love learning, and then second is to learn what you like. Like, those to me are the biggest reasons that you go to school. And I feel like public school really has a good way of crushing kids' passion out of them. Like, kids just have so much innate wonder in them and so much energy to dive into topics that they are super interested in. And I feel like public schools just have to, because they have 30 kids in their class, they have to kind of force them to fit these molds. I think for any kid that does not fit the mold, it is not the best situation for them. Look at how much knitting I did in all that time. I'm wearing my Hosier shirt because we went to his concert when we were in Utah, and it was my favorite thing, and now this is my favorite shirt. But I also wanted to say that I have gotten so much done in like my hobby world since getting home. When we were gone for 3 weeks, I was like, man, I'm making no progress on my knitting, which look at how much I've done here. and I've made no progress on my embroidery, and I didn't read like any of either of my books, and proud to say that everything is going much better now. I actually finished both the books that I was reading, and I'm going to start 2 new ones. So I finished Catch-22. I liked it. We're also watching the show, which is kind of fun. The ending got kind of a little long in the nose, but I just love the writing and the witty humor in that book, and so I just really appreciated it. And then the other book that I finished was The Lacuna by Barbara Kingsolver, which I love her so much, and this is my 4th book of hers that I've read, and it has been my 4th favorite. Like, I really liked it, but I loved the other one so much. So the ending completely sold me on that book, and it was a good read, and I'm glad that I read it. Now I'm going to be reading 2 books. One's fantasy by Brandon Sanderson, and the other is sci-fi by S.A. Corey. So that one's called The Mercy of the Gods, and the Brandon Sanderson one is called Isle of the Ember Dark. I can't remember. Happy to say that I am making progress in all the things that are making me happy. But I was feeling like a loser for a second there, but then I got home and started having time again and being in my routine. I'm like, oh, it was just because I was traveling. I don't know what our life is right now. I'm trying to make the most of it and enjoy where we're at in life and in Vancouver. Just take one day at a time. I honestly have no idea where we're going to be next, and it's kind of driving me crazy, but it is what it is. I don't know. Just know that there's so much in the back end happening over here. Like, every single week we have some different scheme planned up, and I get really excited about it. And then of course it's not going to happen because it's this crazy like shot in the dark. But okay, I really need to stop rambling and leave you so that you're not stuck here forever, because I just love chatting so much. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.